The Curse of the Smile. A young woman was moving into her new home. She had found the place on the outskirts of town while driving around one day. It was wrapped in brown paper and tied with some string. There was no return address or anything like that. It was clearly addressed to her, though. So she brought it inside. She placed the package on the kitchen table and was about to open it when she heard a knock at the door. Startled, she quickly tried to hide the package under a blanket. But when she went to answer the door, whoever was there had already left. It was love at first sight. The house had a big front yard with a nice old tree in the middle of it. As she flipped through the brittle pages, she began to learn the history of the house. The doll was said to have a strange power over those who possessed it. She suddenly remembered the creepy doll she had found and the strange things that had been happening since she brought it into the house. Could it be possible that the doll was cursed? At first, it was faint, but it grew louder and louder until she could make out the words, "You can't escape me. You can't escape the curse." And don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying tales. Thank you for watching. The woman screamed and fell to the floor in terror. She thought. It was said that the doll would bring good fortune to those who had it, but it would also cause them to do terrible things. The journal claimed that the doll was somehow connected to an ancient curse that had been cast upon the family long ago. It had once belonged to a woman who was known for her beauty, but as she aged, she became bitter and turned her back on everyone who had ever loved her. But as she went to throw the doll away, she slipped and fell, cutting her hand on the sharp edge of the porcelain. Blood dripped from her wound and landed on the doll's painted-on smile. Others say that she managed to break the curse and free herself from the doll's grasp. But to this day, no one has ever been able to confirm her fate. All we know is that the doll is still there on the shelf in the corner of the room, its creepy smile forever frozen in place. As she watched in horror, the smile seemed to grow wider. A single tear rolled down her face. This was no ordinary doll. And even though the house needed some repairs, it had a certain charm to it. When she told her friends about the house, they thought it was beautiful and encouraged her to buy it. So she did. While eating, she looked out the window and noticed something strange. Sometimes she would wake up in the middle of the night and feel a cold presence in the room. Other times, she would hear strange whispers coming from the corner of the room where the doll was. She began to feel as if she were going crazy. The tree in her front yard, which had been perfectly fine the day before, now had all of its leaves. She found that odd, but she just shrugged it off. Maybe it was just growing that fast, she thought. As she was moving in, she saw a package sitting on the porch. When she finally got the package opened, she found a porcelain doll inside. The doll was old and beautiful. It was dressed in an exquisite gown and had an eerie, painted-on smile. The woman didn't like the doll, but she didn't know why. She just had a bad feeling about it. So she placed the doll on a shelf in the corner of the room and tried to forget about it. That night, she was awoken in her bed by what sounded like screams in the middle of the night. Obviously startled, she sat there for a moment trying to listen, but she couldn't hear anything else. Perhaps it was just a dream, she thought. So she laid back down and tried to go back to sleep. In the morning, she got up and went to the kitchen to make herself some breakfast. As the days passed, more and more strange things began to happen. Then one day, while going through some old books she had found in the attic, she came across an old journal. One entry in particular caught her eye. It described a porcelain doll that had been passed down through the family for generations. The woman read these stories and felt a chill go down her spine. She decided that she had had enough. She was going to get rid of that doll no matter what. She returned the doll to the shelf, defeated. Suddenly, the whispering began. No one knows what happened to that woman. Some say that she is still trapped in that house with the cursed doll. If you enjoyed this scary story, make sure to check out my other videos.